Cam Newton got jumped. We all know that by now. But what'd you miss? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down a few things that was very critical in that from the Cam Newton and Charleston White interview. It was a lot of things when he was coming at him very aggressively on the Deion subject that Cam Newton missed in front of his eyes. But today, we'll break it down. So, if you don't know, let's get you caught up to speed. All right, so if you don't know, Cam Newton was attacked.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I know. 6'5", 200+ pound guy attacked? What you talking about? Let's tap in.
I'm gonna give him the platform that he wants. What type of route you want?
Okay, so if you missed it, Cam Newton got jumped. But who jumped him? Man, the whole time I thought it was athletes, actual participants in the 7-on-7. But come to realize it was the damn coaches. What kind of organization do you have to run to where you are so out of tune with your coaches that you don't know what's going on? You don't know if they have discrepancies. You don't know if they're upset with you. You don't know how they feel about you. You just come in town like a token person, steal all the spotlight and all the shine that's been on the team that's from there or that's coming in to try to get a piece of what your team gets. They feel neglected. Sometimes you got to be focused on everybody and not just the people you're directly affecting, because the whole league has to do with you. And this will be dropping some critical jewels that Charleston White dropped on Cam Newton's show. But Cam Newton was so high and mighty that he didn't think none of this could affect him. It was a lot of conversations throughout that main conversation that they had where he said that if you see two people arguing, a man and a woman, you better not get into their business because you don't know what can happen. That's a smart man. Some people's business you need to let be their business. You can't jump and get involved in every situation because it will leave you high and dry. You have a family to go home to. You have responsibilities that you are responsible for, but you cannot let other people's situations dictate what you can do for your family. Because the most important thing for you to do for your family is to make it home every night. But let me get you caught up on what happened. So Cam Newton got jumped. It was by the coaches. And what kind of world do we have to live in to where you don't know that your coaches have a discrepancy with you? You don't know if they're upset. And if you do, you're not addressing it. You're letting it fester. When things fester, they boil over into a situation to where you have something like this. Cam Newton, Charleston White told you multiple times some things you don't need to be involved with. But no, you were so busy defending Deion or pushing your narrative that you missed the jewels that were being dropped right in front of you right before it happened. God will warn you of things before they happen. The question is, are you listening and can you pick it up? Let's tap in. So it starts with the argument at the top of the stairs. So you see Cam Newton here. He's holding one guy by the dread, slinging him. And this guy in the white is supposed to be on Cam Newton's side, but he missed everybody but Cam. Like, what? Coming here throwing haymakers. Well, I mean, he got one off, I guess. But so then they shut it down. Cam Newton's hat didn't fall off. It's a hole in that damn hat. I promise it. The dreads come straight out the top. If that hat could fly away, it would have flew off so damn fast if it wasn't fastened in by them dreadlocks. I'm telling you that. See Cam Newton just dragging them over here like a barnyard mule, just slinging them. So what do we know from here? Let's see. Rick Ross commented on it. A lot of people commenting on it. This is a different angle of him dragging him. Okay, so now we know what happened. Now let's dive in a little bit deeper. Let's hear everybody's side. We got the coaches coming up next. And the whole time I thought it was players. Cause I was thinking, why are the coaches even this close? Why do you have a point in your 7-on-7 organization where none of this conversation could have been had before you get to the podium?
Make anyone like so angry because I'm sitting here and I'm speaking to
Hey, you saw them dreads? We know who he was in the video.
you guys, and there's so much that you guys are doing for the community.
That's some nice skin.
To these,
the edges on fleet.
And so it's just like, what can make something transpire?
Well, they sitting there like, man, not only did we make a bad mistake, we looked bad the whole time. Getting dragged around.
Like what I want to apologize to everybody that was out there and to the parents of not just.
I'd be apologizing too if I got dragged by my dreads.
Everybody that was affected. That should have never happened. Like we should have been able to sit down and talk. Like there's no reason we should be yelling at each other while a game going on. Like,
remember this whole conversation because we're gonna go back to the Charleston White interview and tab back in with that.
It's just been a lot of trash talk, from saying it more so his side.
So it's sides. We supposed to be together. People, I thought we was together on this. It's for the community.
Talking crazy to us for no reason. It's like,
talking crazy.
Nothing new. Like I've been around bro for 5 years. Like it's typical.
So these emotions have been festering. When it boils over, what's going on?
The step you was right there.
Yeah, so
You was listening to those things. So you heard him and you walked up.
Steph walked up there.
Oh, okay.
And as I'm walking up the steps, Cam is in Steph's face. I met.
Okay.
Hey, I'm responsible for everything y'all do, whatever. And he grabbed stuff.
Okay.
So me.
He grabbed him. Why you grab him?
Then my little brother and I'm walking up the flight of steps and I see a 6'6" guy grabbing my brother.
And that's the footage that everybody.
Okay, on 6'5".
So that was the first altercation that everybody saw.
Nothing else.
Right there. Okay.
Boy, it's exaggerating today.
Nobody seeing like how he was talking crazy the past 2 days. Like nobody seeing.
So as you can see, it's some coaches that are feeling slighted. But why? Is it because of what's going on with the players? Do the players feel some type of way about Cam Newton? Is he shining a spotlight on them when he comes, but he's there so limited that they're not being able to get the full experience of that role model, that leader? Yeah, these are some things to think about. Because when we put it into perspective, after our next clip, it will have you thinking. We're going to bring it back. We got the Charleston White interview.
But see what you.
Okay, so in this video here, we got Cam Newton trying to press Charleston White on how he feels about Deion and why he feels that way. And Charleston White's going to break it down, letting him know that it's not mainly about Deion. It's about the kids, the boys, the coaches, the people who feel neglected, the people who are not getting the attention that they need to get when it comes to certain things, on making sure that everybody has what they need and nobody's feeling left out.
You overlooking it. I'm a young man that can relate to those kids who may have an abandonment issue because Deion.
That's at Jackson State.
Yeah. So you gotta understand.
Okay. So think about this. Same situation. A 7-on-7 league.
I'm looking at this. Y'all looking at it from a we love Deion standpoint.
He looking at it from the we love Cam point of view.
I'm that guy that say I love Deion.
I'm them kids.
And I'm not mad that he wouldn't go chase that bag.
I'm them kids. Listen,
yes, sir.
And the coaches, we're looking at from the kids' perspective. The coaches are not mad or upset or have beef or have a problem because of them. It's the response to how the kids feel of him. Let's tap in.
I'm not. Listen, but see, y'all. But see, this is what I'm telling black people. You just named three components. You said the culture. You said Jackson State, but you never said those boys.
What about the boys? Why is the situation at Cam Newton's camp got to this far? Think about all the boys that have been affected in the situation and before the situation. From the way the coaches were talking, it's some hot smoke. It's some things going on in that organization that they are not happy about, to the point where they felt they had to voice those concerns, which led this to get into the situation that we're in now. Come on now.
See, that's what y'all. The players, those boys
That he left.
that he left.
So you speaking on their behalf.
I'm looking from their perspective. If you think they ain't saying fuck that,
We got to look at the perspective.
The privileged son get to go with his daddy. The football coach who get to coach his son.
Cam Newton's team, would you say they privileged?
It's called nepotism. You gonna take the people you like with you.
Take
our best players with you, because you know they got.
I'd be curious to find out if any of those players that are on his team used to be on those coaches' team.
Better jersey. So it's some kids, niggas walking around. They're gonna be resentful. Content in their heart. Y'all forgetting about the kids. But this is what I'm.
And then to this point, it goes to a further level because it's the coaches. Come on now.
It's all about Deion though. And all I'm trying to say, homie, I'm looking at it. Y'all looking at it from the top down.
The coaches say they looking at it from the bottom. 5 years they had to deal with, bro.
And you know where I learned this from? Taking poor children to events.
And he gonna break it down because guaranteed those other teams, when it comes to Cam Newton's team, they feel they have more advantages. They feel they have more perks. They feel they have the bells and whistles. So when they get in their arena, they ready to be dogs.
We got some good seats.
They don't turn the dog off on the coach just because he running the organization.
Boy, little nigga holler out. Oh, I hate y'all. Hey, nigga, what's wrong with you? Man, they get to be down there. If you think them kids ain't saying that about Deion and this boy, that's where the resentment is coming from. The new recruits at UCLA want to steal. We feeling left out. We feeling abandoned. We feeling rejected. Have access at a man like a father figure. The discipline that he brought into the locker room.
And I can't even say Cam bring the discipline. Hey, about the
to take a job to advance is
Charleston White about to break it down. He about to tell him how the coaches ended up in this situation before it even happened.
Career. On the flip side of that, you got a bunch of kids that feel abandoned. I got a couple of them in my phone. You got a few coaches that feel neglected. You got some staff members that felt wrong. I look from their position. The abandonment issues.
Right there, in your face, Charleston White telling them, this is the time to check your own house. Make sure your house is in order. He giving him the blueprint on it right now.
Nobody's talking about that. Not only do you abruptly take that from them, they are now pushed back into non-existence. They don't exist no more. They back in darkness.
So when Cam Newton's not at these tournaments, all those kids that came out that have to make noise in those tournaments, that spotlight that they had, that they know they had to seize the opportunity, they back in the shadow. So these coaches might be feeling that their kids are getting neglected and not getting the proper light that they deserve.
When you do the 60-minute special, and I hate to repeat this, but I'm going to repeat it. There were many people in Jacksonville who was offended by the special because they only showed one element, the poor bad side of Jacksonville. And
one element. Okay, so right here, Charleston White is about to break it down. And then we see how Cam Newton gets into the situation that he got into because Cam Newton's a talker and he gonna admit it right here. Let's tap.
I'm known for packing a gun. I'm known for this. So you ain't just going to jail. You might go to hell too, nigga. You might go to hell. So that ain't tough talk. I'm not trying to be tough.
He talking about tough talk.
That ain't tough talk. That's a man who's standing on what he's saying. Why you got to be tough? And you know you're protected because
Them coaches was standing on what they was saying.
if somebody retaliates to the words that you say, you can either die or go to jail. So what am I protected? So what? So let me just say this. An assault ain't nothing but a misdemeanor, a $50 bond. Who afraid to go to jail for whooping a nigga? Then you better sit your motherfucking ass down then, nigga. Leave me alone. If you afraid to go to jail for assault, you better leave me alone.
Hey, Charleston White undefeated, bro.
Because I just be an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon case against him. Now you better leave me alone, my nigga. I ain't just talking, just be talking. If you afraid to go to jail, then you better leave me alone. Yeah, you better keep your 50.
Charleston White setting an example. Cam Newton met some of them dudes. Obviously, they wasn't able to do what they tried to do, but the little Cam thinking just because his size, he untouchable. People will reach out, especially when you're looking from the bottom to the top instead of from the top from the bottom.
You're agitating an argument because what you gonna say is, hey man, fuck Cam Newton. What Cam gonna say? Man, fuck Charleston White. You ain't gonna. In my mind, listen, my mind.
Cam, look, it was a lot of back and forth between those coaches and Cam.
When I say fuck King Von did, so he ain't saying fuck me back. When I say fuck King Von, I'm making a point because I'm sitting next to two mother. See how y'all keep missing, my nigga. I meant, hold on.
Cam Newton, what was your point? What was your point, Cam? Hey, y'all, check this out. How many of y'all think this how the conversation went with the coaches? Look, Cam won't stop talking. He was probably talking the whole time. That's why he... This is what happened. But unlike in the situation with Charleston White, they were able to keep their composure. Now, the only thing that's in common in both these situations is Cam Newton. So it's funny how things played out. But let's see what Cam Newton's response was.
Moment and one decision, your life can change. Just like that.
So you gotta mind your business, Cam. Some things you're not supposed to touch.
And I let my emotions get the best of me. And it should not have been called for. Simple. And with that, I apologize to anybody affected.
Hey, yo, Cam talking slow, man. We're gonna speed this up.
That's TJ. That's their organization. That's C1N. My organization. That's my players, my parents, my staff members. And when you really debrief from days after, it really puts things into perspective. And I tell you this, my president of my program, Kendall, person who I have, Howard Ross. He called me, and
you got to be tapped in. And that's what I said. It shouldn't be no disconnect between you and the coaches of your own organization. If there's a discrepancy and somebody's not feeling what you're doing or feeling how you operating, it shouldn't go over 5 years. Come on.
Even though he was empathetic to understanding where I was coming from, he simply said, "Ken, I cannot have it. You need too much, too many people. Too many people are betting on you to keep their lights on."
That can't happen, Cam.
It's never mind me as a father. Because when I say pay it, I think about you. I think about the kids who look up to me, and also
let's fast forward.
Or just staring amazing. I feel like I let them down. Because I can't sit up here and say, "Hey, bro, you got to be bigger than that," and then all of a sudden I do that, and that just goes to show you got to always stay in control of your emotions, and that's where the humanistic side came in. And there's no excuse. It's
man, it is what it is. So, like in the other video, like I showed you, Charleston White basically pointed it out to him. Hey, if you gonna talk about it, you gotta be about it. And it's a lot of these situations where the coaches did feel neglected. Your own opinions, your thoughts. Man, y'all got all the information, and some things that were out of context are now put in the context since you did see the clips from Charleston White interview and everything that happened. Man, tap in so we can be back in. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. Lockbox Nation, signing off your station. We out.